people start getting killed in the political culture wars, then let's just call them what they are: bloody street battles. Quentin Deranque was a casualty, killed by violent far-left anti-fascist activists. There are local elections in France next month, presidential elections next year, and his death has many here wondering whether the militant far-right aren't the only ones with bloodied hobnail boots. We took the funicular up the hill overlooking Lyon to meet Clément Schertz. He's a leader of an ethno-nationalist Catholic student group, Le Cocarde. And he's organising a huge demonstration in Lyon to remember his acquaintance, Quentin Deranque.
He was kind of fun. He was radiant, like giving smiles to people and quite intellectual, actually. He was quite a fervent Catholic. It's a level of violence we're not familiar with.
Clément says that he wants to distance himself and his organisation from violent groups. This, as we will discover, is not accurate. But first, who was Quentin Deranque? He was a data science student at university in Lyon. A few years ago converted to Catholicism and was a regular at the ultra-traditionalist St. George's Church, Mass still celebrated here in Latin. He was also involved with the far-right militant group called Audace. Their rallying call: young, white, join your clan. So, how did Quentin die? On the 12th of February, a hard-right anti-immigrant women's group called Nemesis staged a protest outside a venue where a radical left-wing politician was speaking. Students violently confronted the group outside the university. Quentin Deranque was reportedly providing support and security for Nemesis on the day. The militant far left in Lyon showed up close by, and Nemesis have far-right heavies on speed dial who also arrived. Cue a full-on street brawl. At one point, Quentin Deranque, seen here, is repeatedly beaten on the ground and then kicked in the head. He was declared dead in hospital 2 days later. Some of the alleged perpetrators were associated with a left-wing French party, La France Insoumise. And when I say associated, I mean some were actually on the payroll of a member of parliament. 2 of those arrested were assistants to Raphael Arnaud, a member of parliament for LFI. Arnaud was a founder of a now banned militant anti-fascist group, Les Gens Gardes. We tried in vain to get an interview with someone from LFI. They deny that the party had anything to do with the attack and are standing by Arnaud, who has condemned the assault. Both of his assistants have been fired. And so to the demonstration at the weekend. Over 3,000 people attended the memorial event for Quentin Deranque in Lyon. It was organised by a who's who of the French hard-right street movement. Nemesis, the so-called femo-nationalists, were there, as was Clément from the Catholic student group. The main speaker was Aliette Espiau. She leads an anti-abortion group called Marche pour la Vie, and once ran as a candidate for Le Pen's party national rally in local elections. These are the social media savvy, fresh faces of the movement, with no interaction with violent white supremacists, right? Wrong. Aliette Espiau is married to a man called Elliot Bertin, a white supremacist with a violent past, and he's barred from attending demonstrations in Lyon.
Do you condemn all political violence across the board?
Yes, of course.
You do, yeah. Is your husband here today?
No.
Okay.
And I don't know where is the link.
Not long after this, we bumped into her husband.
Elliot, just before you go.
Je suis désolé, je suis occupé.
He didn't want to talk to us. Here's why. He was a leader of the banned neo-Nazi group Lyon Populaire and is not allowed to attend demonstrations in Lyon. Later, we caught up with him again.
Sorry, we were discussing a serious subject.
Along with his wife, who told us he wasn't there, and Clément, the student activist, who told us he didn't associate with violent groups.
You said your husband wasn't here.
Yeah, my husband is...
Okay. This is your husband.
Yes. No.
Elliot. Elliot.
No.
Elliot.
No, my husband isn't here.
That's not your husband?
No.
Then she pretended that her husband was, in fact, just some dude called Max.
Why is he not telling us the truth?
Yes,
It's not him, I think.
it's Max.
He's Max, one of the guys.
No, I'm sure of that.
No, we spoke to
I
him
know
earlier.
who is my husband.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're not telling us the truth, are you? You're not telling us the truth.
Oh, I'm...
It's okay. I understand.
Why does this moment matter? Because it shows that the quote acceptable face of the French far right is lying about its connections to violent groups. With the presidential race next year and local elections next month, this young man's death exposes the uneasy connections between parties of the left and right with their militant fringes, and forces France to ask itself, what level of political violence will we actually tolerate?